Well, hello and welcome to volume 288. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular guy fighting prostate cancer. I'm glad to have you along for the ride. It is December. I'm trying to think how long it's been since I did my last video, and I don't think it was that long ago, maybe a week ago or whatever. But just wanted to give you a quick update. I've had so many doctor's visits. It's come to the end of the year, so a lot of 6-month checkups, a lot of CT scans are being done. So let me back up just a little bit, try and catch you up to where things are at right now. Good news comes first. My PSA is again less than 0.04, which it has been for the last 6 or 7 possibly PSA checks. So I 2 thumbs up. I mean, that's amazing. I'm giving thanks every day for that. The cancer is still inside of me, but it's asleep right now. So as long as it's asleep, good for me. It's not spreading anymore. My liver numbers are looking good. They're still elevated, but they're in the range. They call it a level 1 as far as how high the numbers are going. Because of the immunotherapy that I'm on with the Keytruda, it does cause the numbers in the liver to rise. So what they do is I believe it's every 6 weeks, I do a full panel and they see what my numbers are at. If that ever rises too high, say it gets to like a 3 or a 4, then they would pause my Keytruda immunotherapy treatments and give it a chance for those to go back down again. But so far we've been good. I haven't even crossed the threshold to get out of the 1 range yet. So doctor's extremely happy about that. Everything else is going well. My triglycerides, all that stuff looks good. Glucose a little high. I'm carrying too many pounds. I have been working on that, and I hate to do New Year's resolutions, but I'm going to be doing that. Next year is my year to get in shape. I had the goal of being back in the water and surfing by this month. That didn't happen. That was not a realistic goal, but next year it is. And this morning that was reinforced. I drove the Pacific Coast Highway to get down to my doctor in Newport Beach. And oh my gosh, it was just amazing. We've had rain the last couple of days here in Southern California. It's been real gloomy. Got some snow up in the mountains. Today though, clouds are gone. There was a fog bank out by Catalina, but we had offshore winds, which means that the winds blow onto the ocean. So as the waves are crashing, it causes that rain to come over. You see the white as the lip breaks apart. Perfect surfing conditions. That's what you want when you go out surfing, because it builds the face of the wave, gives you a better ride. And the cool thing is too, if you're paddling out and you go over that wave, and this is a feeling from that, I get goosebumps thinking about it, because it started when I was a kid. You're going down the backside of that, and the offshore wind hits that lip and just blows the water up like rain, and it falls down on you, and it's just so it's a couple of seconds of basically rain that comes down. And I'll tell you, there have been times when I was much younger, and you'd see that sucker coming. It's breaking outside. Most of the time the waves would be breaking closer to shore, so you'd be sitting in the lineup right there, and someone would yell outside. You turn and look, and sure enough, you could see the swell starting at the outside break. So then you just start paddling for all you're worth, because you don't want to get caught by these and get dragged all the way in. You want to get out there and catch one of these. And generally, if they're breaking farther out, it's a bigger wave. So on the days when the Santa Ana's blowing, you'd be on there. And man, there are days where you'd be paddling and you're like, oh Lord, please let me get over the lip. And so you're paddling up the face of the wave like this. The wave's going to start to break. So if you're lucky and you made it in time, you could either make it over the lip and back down the other side, or you could punch through the lip and come out. So depending on the length of the board I was on, if it was a short board, I could just up over the top. If I had a longer board, I'd have to push down a little bit, a modified duck dive through the wave, and you come out the other side and that rain would hit you. And it was just amazing. It was so cool. So I was doing that this morning, and it was just beautiful. I'm looking at it going, man, I have to be out there. I have to be out there. So next year, I will definitely be in the water and surfing and having a good time, stand-up paddleboarding. Just, incredible. Now, one of the things that's going to make that easier to do is that my urologist, and I think we talked about this. My urologist referred me to another doctor who came in from Florida. Kaiser pulled him in from Florida from a different medical group, and then City of Hope pulled him from Kaiser and moved him over. And he's an amazing guy. Plus, he's a Dolphins fan, so that's great. But he had me do a CT last Friday, and it's a very involved CT. So normally you see the slices of a CT go. This one has many, many, many more slices on it. And it was so bizarre because they did it with contrast. And if you've ever had the contrast injected, they give you an IV and they put the contrast in there, and it just warms your whole body. It's like a warm blanket from the inside. And because this one was done so in depth, they had to speed the injection. So, and they also put nitro under my tongue. So they put the nitro into there, and then she goes, okay, we're going to hit the stuff. And normally, you feel it, it's kind of nice. This one, poof, it was like instantaneous. I felt like I was 150 degrees on the inside. And they did it quicker, delivered it faster than they normally would, but it was over pretty fast. It lasted maybe, I don't know, less than 3 minutes. But it was hot. I mean, it was just like, holy moly. So then you're in the donut, getting the CT scan done. And the doctor came in while I was in there, and he said, hey, what I saw looks good. He said, I have to look at the smaller vessels and see how everything is. So if we get the results back from that, he says, you're a candidate. They're going to go in through my femoral artery. It'll be a procedure in the hospital. They'll put me out, and they'll go in through my femoral artery in my leg. They'll run a catheter up inside of that. Then they'll run another catheter up. And what they'll do is they'll deposit particles. And I don't remember the actual name of what the particles are, but I do remember that he said that they're 10 times bigger than a red blood cell. So basically what you would be looking at is, a tube, garden hose or whatever, and you have the red blood cells going through it. Well, these things are much bigger, so they're going to pass the red blood cells, get to where the prostate is, and then plug up so that no more red blood cells can get in there. Idea being that if we can cut off the blood flow to the prostate, then whatever's left of the prostate after having radiation and chemo, that it would shrink even more. So, not to get too much information, but I have been able to urinate out of my penis for a while now, but it's a tiny little stream and I can't empty my bladder, so we can't take out the catheter. Otherwise, I'd be right back where I started with the urine retention, all that kind of stuff. So if this works, if I'm a candidate and this works, it'll open up the urethra because it'll stop the compression of the prostate on the urethra. So a lot of ifs in this, but it could work. And if it does work, then the tube comes out, and that makes many things about my life much easier. That cuts down on having to take care of it every day, change the gauze on it 3 times a day, clean it all the time, add cream because of the rash that you get during the summer, all that stuff. That'd be gone. I wouldn't have to deal with it. And it would make it much easier getting in and out of a wetsuit too. So pretty jazzed about that, excited. And today just charged me up even more being able to see the ocean. I should have took some pictures. That's how great it was, man. I didn't even think about popping out the video and looking. Okay, so went for a breath test, a breathing test last Friday. It's the one where the last time I did this, I was in a cube, a plexiglass cube, and you have to sit in there, and they put the hose in and you blow in it, and then they tell you, like breathe normally 3 times, then suck in a bunch of air, and then blow it out as hard as you can. And they're like, go, keep going, keep going. I got nothing left. And they have a new machine now, and it just sits on the counter. So instead of having to go in and sit inside that box, you just go into the doctor's office and they do it right there. So it takes about 45 minutes. You do all the tests, then they give you a breathing treatment, and you put the atomizer in there, and you just inhale normally, but it sends a medicine down inside you into your lungs, and then you repeat the tests to see how it turns out. So everything looked okay there. I go tomorrow to see Dr. Nakvi again. He'll run through all of the results on that, but everything seems to be looking pretty good, which is great because this time last year I had COPD, I had COVID, I had from the treatment. Oh, help me, brain fog. It's right there. It's right. I can see the word. It's right there. I just can't get it out. Chemo. Because of the chemo, I had that glass stuff in my lungs, the shading that was all in there. It's all gone. That's all clearing out. It's getting out of my lungs. So that's another thing that makes it easier for me to surf, get my lung back, get my lungs back, get my lung capacity back up, is going to make a big difference. I see him tomorrow. I just got home a couple minutes ago from seeing my cardiologist, and he's extremely happy with everything. We are going to tweak my medication just a little bit. The AFib has been very quiet. Haven't had to deal with that at all. Remember, during the chemo time, that was back in the mix. I've been dealing with AFib since about 2017, but it's been very quiet, very calm. He said my blood pressure was up a little bit, so he's going to tweak my medicine, and we're going to add 2 of them together, and he'll see how that works out. But overall, he was extremely happy with my progress and everything that was going. So right now, all my doctors are pretty jazzed. I have a bunch more tests coming up. The end of the year always seems to be like this, every 6 months. I guess it just seems more noticeable right now because there's so many other things going on in addition. In case you didn't hear, Christmas is coming up soon. And I was talking to my sister on the phone. I apologize. My sinuses have just decided to screw up a little bit. I was just talking to my sister on the phone, and it is difficult. I'm not doing Santa this year. And so it's kind of rough dealing with that. This is all I can get. Because of the Lupron that I take, and that, blocking all of my testosterone, my hair is not growing. So yeah, it's growing on my head. But for those of you who, had seen me surfing and stuff, I have nothing. I mean, it's all gone. My back doesn't have any hair on it. My arms are pretty light, and my legs and stuff. The hair on my head is growing okay, but the beard, this is about all I can get. It won't. And I'm taking biotin, all the other stuff, but without the testosterone, it won't grow in. So I'm gonna. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I'm actually going to go see my counselor and talk about my beard situation, because I love being Santa. I like that feeling of being him all the time, and that may not be the case for me anymore. Other than this, I mean, this is as far as I can go. Doesn't change. I mean, Santa's in here. I still enjoy the giving and the love and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's rough. It's something I've just gotten used to doing. I wasn't going to do this. Something I've got used to doing. So I got to start dealing with it not being what I had. It's so bizarre. And a TMI just ahead of time. Because of the Lupron that I take, they call it the chemical castration drug, and they actually give it to pedophiles because it kills your libido and things don't work the way that they're supposed to work. So that's one of the side effects of taking that drug, taking the Lupron. And I have to tell you that it's very difficult to figure out which one bothers me more, that I'm not able to, have a libido and things work the way they should, or not having my beard. That's how attached, no pun intended, I had become to my beard. So enough of that. Okay, what else have I got coming up? That's doctor's appointments looking good. Yeah, I think there was something else I was going to tell you, and now I'm just kind of not in there. But I appreciate all of you guys watching the videos. I really do. If you wouldn't mind, man, just give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. It helps the algorithm quite a bit. Oh, I know the other thing too is, for those of you who are on my Christmas list, you know who you are. I screwed up this year. I didn't order my Christmas cards until December 3rd. And I just found out today that they got shipped on the 10th. And somehow, I won't tell you what I paid for shipping, but it should have come a lot faster than they're saying. It's going to be here on the 19th. So I'm like, So some of you might be getting a Christmas card after the holiday came and went. So please don't think I'm not thinking about you, but yeah, this, did not expect it would take a month to get Christmas cards. So yeah, more videos coming. I just want to give you a quick little update, and no, Dennis, it didn't end up being quick. But I love you all. I say thank you every day in my prayers for you guys being there. I thank you for the support. And you know what? There's oh my gosh, the nightlight. You know what? I got to do another video. It's in my bedroom, and this one's already gone on long enough. But suffice to say that my buddy Steve made me an incredible gift, and I can't wait to share it with you. So I'll do that in my next video. It blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. But I'll fill you guys in on that. But I love you all so much. I appreciate everything that you give me, all of the prayers, the good thoughts, the aloha, the shaka, the good juju, everything that you guys send my way. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And I turn around and share that with all of the other guys that are fighting prostate cancer too. And for those that are supporting them, those that are taking care of the guys that are fighting prostate cancer. So thank you so much for being there, for watching these videos, for sharing them, for subscribing, for clicking the like button, for leaving comments. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you on the next one. I love you all.